Okay, to make our tooth fairy pot, you are gonna get 2 pieces of clay, big and a small. And you can see here, the big is going to be for our bottom part and the small is for the lid. And you can see a couple different styles here of tooth fairy pots. Now, do you have to use them as a tooth fairy pot? No, you could put anything else that's really small in there. A pair of earrings, I don't know what else, pennies maybe? So to do this, we're gonna start with a big one, and we need to make what's called a pinch pot. So you're gonna take this and you need to make it into a circle, a sphere. So I'm gonna first do it with my hands, and then I'm gonna roll it on, I'm gonna roll it on the wallpaper. That's your placemat for today. It's a piece of wallpaper until I get a nice circle. Some of those lines I'm gonna have to get rid of. It's gonna take a minute to get this part done. Then you're gonna take your finger, a thumb, on the inside, and I'm gonna press down. Now I'm gonna do this like I'm almost a lobster claw. So I'm gonna press and push. So I'm pressing that into the inside. Like this, and then the more we do that, working our way around, you can see that it's becoming a nice tooth fairy pot. Now I'm gonna get a lot of fingerprints on the side. So this is where I can take and I can kind of smooth it out if I wanted to, take my fingers and smooth it out, whatever you would like to do. Or if I think it's indented too much there, I can push my thumb on the inside and push that back out if I wanted to, until I get a nice bowl. It's called a pinch pot because I'm pinching the sides. Okay, once you get it, the shape you like, there's 2 things you have to do. We have to make sure the top is flat and the bottom. So you tap, tap to make it flat, and then tap, tap on the bottom to make a flat area right there. Then I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna make sure that I have my name. Now I might have you do this differently when we do it in class. And let's see, this is gonna be K-A. So I might do this for you. So we'll talk about that in class, but we do need to make sure we have the name on it. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. For the lid, I want a little handle. Now most of the handles just have little circles on the top, spheres, but if you wanna do a different kind of handle, you sure may. I'm gonna show you the circle kind. So I'm gonna put a little bit out, make a circle. I'm gonna set that aside. Now this I need nice and flat, and it needs to fit on there. So I can use my hands to flatten it. I can flatten it on here, whatever you want. My lids are falling off, aren't they? Move them off my wallpaper and that won't happen. Now, does it fit? No, not yet. I need to keep getting it skinnier and skinnier. So I'm gonna work my way around. Okay, once I have it, I wanna make sure my edges are nice and smooth. Is that gonna be pretty good? I need it just a little bit bigger. I wanna make sure it doesn't fall in. Got a bump there and a bump over there. Okay, I'm gonna flatten it on here. Now this, if I put it there, it's not gonna stay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some teeny little lines, like a little scratch marks on there, and on this one. Then I'm gonna press it down a little bit to get it to stick. And then I'm gonna set it on top here. And that is how, this one's a little bit bigger than yours will be, but that is how you make a tooth fairy pot. Have fun. Today we're going to glaze our tooth fairy pots. Now, glaze is a special kind of paint meant for clay. So we're gonna start with coal black. Now, if you look at it, it looks gray, but when it goes back in the kiln, it will turn black and nice and shiny. So you're gonna get to use 2 colors today. I'm gonna use black and orange. So I'm gonna go to the black table first. And the black table, I will take this, and I need to think, what all do I want black? So I'm gonna plan first. So I'm gonna do the inside of this black, and I'm gonna do this part, I'm gonna leave this orange, and this will be orange here, but I'm gonna do the rest of this black. So black here, and on the edges. Now, on these, you do not wanna glaze the very bottom where your names are. Those need to stay plain clay, otherwise it could stick to the kiln. So I'm gonna take my brush, dip it in here, and I'm gonna paint the inside. Now there's some little areas that I have trouble getting into, so I'm gonna put a lot of glaze on my brush and I'm gonna stab it in, and then I'm gonna brush it out till I get the whole inside. Let me see if I see white spots. Oh, I do. Stab that in, get all the way to the very edge. Take some time to get it done. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and I'm gonna do the outside of this one. Okay, and if you get a little bit where you don't want it, a wet paper towel can help to get it off too. Okay, I got a little bit there, but that's okay. Now I also want to get the edge here. I don't want to do the bottom, but I do want to get the edge. Now, could I have done the edge in orange? Yeah, but I kind of like this. Now, this is called one coat of paint. So we put one layer over everything, checking for white spots. Okay, now we really want 2 coats though. Look at it, this is already dry. It dries super fast. So that's 1 coat. So it's like, it's got a sweatshirt, but it needs a jacket on it. So I'm gonna take and we're gonna put a 2nd coat on it. That way it will just look a lot better. It won't show the brush strokes. It'll be a nice deep black color. Same thing on here. I do a 2nd coat all over this. Then when I get this done, you're gonna take and you're gonna put the brush in the Cool Whip container because I'm gonna be done with the black. And then you're going to go to your next color. So whatever you choose for your color. Now, do you remember what color I said I was gonna choose? If you said orange, you'd be correct. Okay, so I'm taking my brush, put it in the Cool Whip container, and then I would move tables. Now, since this is my example, I'm not moving tables, I'm gonna move colors. So this time, this is orange. We're gonna use this called Carrot. I get a new brush because I don't want to put a black brush into here. Now, what I'm going to do is do the exact same thing. I'm going to paint 1 coat of orange, and then I'm going to paint a 2nd coat just to make the color just a little bit better on this. And I'm being really careful on the edge. So I paint this entire part orange. Now, I'm not going to make you guys watch me do all 2 coats, but I would paint the sides. Do I paint the bottom? No. So you're gonna paint all of this, and then I will show you in just a second. I will fast forward and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, here I have my 2 coats done. So you can see I left the bottoms blank, but everything else is painted. Have fun.